the man accidentally hurt his hand while peeling a crab. He instinctively looked toward the woman across from him, but he found that the wife who used to peel the crabs for him and bring them to his plate was gone. Now, standing in her place was the indifferent first love. He remembered how, when he once accidentally cut his hand, his wife would tenderly help him put on a band-aid. Then, like a child, she would try to cheer him up. Even though he never treated her well, she would always smile and let it go. This was because the man had always thought that their marriage was something his wife had calculated and trapped him into. So, after marriage, he never once stayed in her room. 5 years later, an accident happened. His wife became pregnant with his child. His mother pressured him to give her a grand wedding anniversary celebration. Unexpectedly, his first love suddenly appeared, muttering that her sister should give her fiancé back to her. The woman, not wanting to embarrass herself in front of the guests, quickly stepped forward to comfort her sister. But the sister grabbed a knife and pressed it to her own wrist, forcing the man to confess who he truly loved, in order to prevent his first love from doing something foolish. The man, who had never had feelings for his wife, immediately admitted that the one he had always loved was his first love. The woman stood frozen in place, unable to believe that after all these years of effort, she still hadn't warmed her husband's heart. So she stepped forward and asked him if he had ever loved her. But once again, she was met with disappointment. At that moment, the malicious younger sister shoved the pregnant woman to the ground. The husband, seeing this, was about to rush over to check, but was stopped. Then he told his mother to let the woman be taken care of by her, while he would take his first love to the hospital. Ignoring his wife's pleas and his mother's scolding, he picked up his first love and left. It was only at that moment that the woman realized just how completely she had lost. After the woman was sent to the hospital, the child was already gone, and the doctor said that it would be very hard for her to conceive again. The mother-in-law, heartbroken, held her daughter-in-law's hand. She knew all of this had been caused by her son, but now, it was too late to say anything, because in the woman's heart, her husband had left a wound that could never be erased. The next day, her younger sister helped with the discharge procedures. The woman decided to leave once she had a moment, but just as she stepped out of the room, she ran into her husband feeding an orange to his first love. What was even worse was that when the first love saw the woman standing at the door, she grabbed the man's hand and said, "I'm the one you truly love." The woman didn't scream or argue. She simply turned and walked away, holding back her pain. Her heart was dead. She decided to divorce him, and handed the divorce papers to her husband. The man, thinking this was just another one of her tactics to tease him, signed the papers without hesitation, and warned her to stay out of his life from now on. The wife pretended to stay calm and agreed, but once he left, she cried uncontrollably. At that moment, the man who had stormed out realized something was wrong with his wife. He was about to go in to check on her, but then thought to himself, "She loves me so much, I'm sure she'll never leave me." What he didn't know was that the wife had already made up her mind to end her life. She packed up all her belongings and burned them, including the wedding photo she had forced to display in the living room, and the wedding ring he had given her. After burning all those painful memories, the woman resolutely walked toward the sea, letting the waves swallow her up. A week later, the man returned from his business trip. This time, no one was there to take the clothes from him. He anxiously called out her name,